Greetings from Aaron Layman Properties. Today I'll be providing an update on the Lake Cities housing market here in Denton County. The Lake Cities will include my home of Corinth, Texas, as well as Lake Dallas, Hickory Creek, and Shady Shores. These are communities just north of Lake Louisville. With the housing market in correction mode, I thought it would be a good idea to take a look at these smaller submarkets to see how things have fared so far this year. I'm focusing on Corinth, but the trends are basically the same. Median home prices in Denton County are still up 11.6% from last year, but they're down $55,000 from the May peak. Average home prices have fallen $77,000 so far as the Fed keeps crushing demand. The housing market in Corinth also peaked out in May this year. Median prices have fallen about $44,000 so far, and the softness is likely going to continue for a while. To put things into perspective, median home values in Corinth, Texas rose from $290,000 in January 2020 to $516,000 in May of 2022. That's a 78% increase in less than 2.5 years. And with only 25,000 or so residents in Corinth and maybe 40,000 total in the Lake Cities area combined, you can imagine that the local options for new construction are relatively limited. We've seen a large premium for new construction prices here in the Lake Cities compared to typical resale homes. The exception would be for some of the local estate-type resale homes with large, oversized lots. There's still a fair number of those homes, lending a bit of a country feel to this Lake Cities area. Coming out of the pandemic, there are a number of new home communities in the Corinth and Lake Cities area. New communities currently selling or in development include Ashford Park, Lake Sharon Estates, Sycamore Cove, Steeplechase, Lennon Creek, Falcon Place, and Hillside. There are also several multifamily or townhome developments in the works. It's all part of the latter stages of the build-out of the Corinth area. The massive liquidity dump during the pandemic just helped push a lot of this development forward. New home prices were hitting highs until this summer. That's when the pandemic housing bubble really began deflating. New home prices have been trending lower since June as a lot of that inventory started appearing on the market. With a large backlog of new construction heading into 2023, prices should continue to soften. Home sales in Corinth and the Lake Cities area have been trending lower since the spring of 21. Sales began declining during the pandemic boom as inventory evaporated. Then we saw a brief period of growth in the first quarter of this year, but that was before the massive spike in mortgage rates absolutely crushed demand. Months of available inventory have rebounded sharply in just the past few months. Corinth saw a record low of just 2 weeks of inventory early in February. We have since jumped to 1.8 months of supply, just shy of the pre-pandemic trend. We will likely be overshooting on the upside as this housing correction plays out and more inventory comes to market. Percent of original list price helps to explain how crazy the demand for local homes was early in the year. After hitting 107.3% in the spring, average percent of list price collapsed to 96.5% last month. Percent of list has been in a nosedive since May. We're already back to pre-pandemic trend with this metric, but we could move lower if we see an actual recession. Homes were flying off the market as we started the year. Median days on market for Corinth and the Lake Cities area plunged to just 4 days in June. We have since spiked back to 18 days, and average days on market is now closer to 30 days. Pre-pandemic trend would probably put us back near 40 to 45 days to sell a home. It's amazing to see just how hot this local housing market was coming out of the pandemic. Many homeowners and agents were spoiled by the overshoot of demand and home values. Many have also been surprised at the speed of the correction. Home prices still have more room to fall as this housing market reset plays out. As I have explained in great detail this year, it's all about the liquidity flows. If you are in the market to buy or sell a home in Corinth, Texas, or anywhere in the Lake Cities, give me a call. Aaron Layman Properties is your go-to source for fact-based, objective information in this local housing market.